Poor blood flow in your legs rarely starts all at once, but the earliest warning signs often show up long before a serious circulation problem sends you to the hospital. Today you are going to discover one simple oil that may help support healthier blood vessels, improve blood flow to your legs naturally, and help you feel steadier, warmer, and stronger as you age. Seniors, if your feet feel cold even under a blanket, if your calves feel tight after a short walk, or if your legs feel heavy at night, please do not brush that off as just getting older. Those can be early messages from your circulation system asking for attention. And here's the part that surprises most people. The oil I am talking about is not exotic, not rare, and not painfully expensive. It is sitting in grocery stores right now, and when it is used the right way at the right time, it may support the lining of your blood vessels and help blood move more smoothly down into the smallest vessels in your legs. But there is one mistake people make that cancels many of its benefits, and I will show you how to avoid it. Before we get into it, comment below and tell me where you are watching from today. If you are dealing with leg circulation issues right now, type A1 in the comments. If you are here for prevention, type 0. And if you care about healthy aging, subscribe to Senior Diet Coach and turn on notifications, because every week I share practical strategies to help older adults protect their heart, brain, joints, and circulation naturally. Poor circulation in the legs usually does not begin with pain. It begins quietly. The arteries may start to stiffen. The inner lining of the blood vessels may become irritated. Blood may move a little less efficiently with each passing year, especially if inflammation, high blood sugar, high blood pressure, smoking, excess sitting, or processed food have been part of the picture for a long time. At first, the signs are easy to dismiss. Maybe your feet get colder than everyone else's. Maybe your ankles feel puffy by evening. Maybe you stand up and feel a strange wave of weakness in your legs for a moment. Maybe your calves burn sooner than they used to when walking uphill. These changes can seem small, but they matter. When circulation declines, oxygen and nutrients do not reach the muscles, nerves, and skin as effectively. Over time, that can lead to fatigue, tingling, slower healing, balance issues, cramps, and a sense that your legs simply do not have the same life in them anymore. The hopeful news is that circulation is not just about age. It is also about daily choices. The foods you eat, the fats you cook with, your movement habits, your hydration, your sleep, and your blood sugar control all influence how flexible and responsive your blood vessels remain. For years, many people were taught to fear all fats. So they replaced traditional oils with heavily refined products that looked modern and convenient, but often came with hidden problems. Some of those oils are easily damaged by heat. Some are stripped of protective compounds. Some quietly contribute to the inflammatory environment that makes blood vessels more stiff and less cooperative over time. That is why choosing the right oil is not a small detail. It is a decision that can either support your circulation or quietly work against it. So what is the oil I want you to know about today? Extra virgin olive oil, not just olive oil in general, extra virgin olive oil. That distinction matters. This is one of the most researched foods in cardiovascular science, and the reason goes far beyond taste. Extra virgin olive oil contains a rich combination of healthy monounsaturated fats, especially oleic acid, along with natural plant compounds called polyphenols. These polyphenols are one of the main reasons this oil stands apart from refined oils. They help protect blood vessels from oxidative stress, calm inflammatory signals, and support the endothelial lining, which is the delicate inner surface of your arteries and veins. That lining plays a huge role in how blood vessels open, relax, and respond to your body's changing needs. When the endothelium is healthier, blood flow tends to be smoother, pressure tends to be more balanced, and the smallest vessels that feed your legs may function better. This matters especially after the age of 60. As we get older, the blood vessels naturally lose some elasticity. The body also becomes less forgiving when inflammation is constantly present. If blood sugar is unstable, if the diet is low in protective nutrients, or if the arteries have been exposed to years of stress, the circulation to the legs can be one of the first places where these problems become noticeable. That is because your legs are far from your heart and depend on strong responsive vessels to keep blood moving downward and then back upward again. If those vessels become stiff, irritated, or narrowed, the legs often pay the price. You may feel heaviness, cramping, numbness, restlessness, or reduced walking endurance. Supporting the health of those vessels is not just about comfort. It is about mobility, independence, and quality of life. Now, here's where extra virgin olive oil becomes so interesting. This oil appears to work on circulation through several different pathways at the same time. First, its monounsaturated fats can help support a healthier cholesterol pattern when they replace damaged fats or heavily processed carbohydrates. That matters because healthier lipid balance reduces the conditions that encourage plaque buildup inside the arteries. Second, the polyphenols in extra virgin olive oil help protect LDL cholesterol from oxidation. That is important because oxidized LDL is much more likely to irritate artery walls and contribute to plaque formation. Third, olive oil supports nitric oxide signaling. Nitric oxide is one of the molecules your blood vessels use to gently widen and relax. When that signal works better, circulation can improve because the vessels are not fighting against the flow. And fourth, extra virgin olive oil may help lower background inflammation, which is one of the major hidden drivers of stiff arteries and poor vascular function. If you have ever felt like your legs are always tired, even when you did not do very much, this could be part of the reason. Muscles need oxygen, nerves need oxygen. The tissues in your feet and calves need a steady stream of nutrients and waste removal. Good circulation is like a delivery service and a cleanup crew happening at the same time. When that system slows down, the body notices. Sometimes you notice it as pain, sometimes as weakness, sometimes as coldness, tingling, or a strange feeling that your legs do not belong to you by the end of the day. Improving circulation is not about chasing a miracle. It is about creating conditions that allow your vessels to do their job with less resistance. But now I need to tell you the one thing most people get wrong. They buy olive oil, but they do not buy the right kind, or they destroy its best compounds without realizing it. Light olive oil, refined olive oil, and heavily processed olive blends do not offer the same protection. Many have lost much of the polyphenol content that makes extra virgin olive oil special in the first place. Then there is the heat issue. While extra virgin olive oil can tolerate gentle cooking better than many people assume, repeated high heat, deep frying, and careless storage can degrade its delicate protective compounds over time. If you keep the bottle near the stove, leave the cap loose, or buy oil in clear plastic that sits under bright light for weeks, you are reducing the very qualities you are hoping to gain. The goal is not just to consume olive oil. The goal is to preserve what makes it beneficial. So how should seniors use this oil if the goal is better blood flow in the legs? Start simple. 1 to 2 tablespoons a day is enough for most adults. Consistency matters far more than excess. You can drizzle it over cooked vegetables, mix it into beans, stir it into soup after the heat is off, or combine it with lemon juice and herbs as a dressing for lunch or dinner. Many people also do well taking 1 teaspoon in the morning with breakfast, especially if their diet has been low in healthy fats. The key is to use it regularly, not randomly. Blood vessels respond to patterns. A single day of healthy eating does very little. A steady daily habit creates the environment where healing and better function become more possible. There is also a simple morning strategy that many older adults find easy to follow. Mix 1 teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil with a small amount of warm water and a few drops of lemon, then drink it before breakfast or alongside the meal. This is not magic, and it is not a replacement for medical care. But it can be a gentle ritual that helps people stay consistent. The warm water may make the routine easier on the stomach, and the lemon adds flavor while fitting naturally into a heart-conscious pattern of eating. Some people prefer to take the oil with oatmeal, eggs, or plain yogurt instead. That is fine too. What matters is regular use in a form you can stick with. Whenever a health habit feels too complicated, most people quit. Simple habits survive. Now let us talk about what many seniors want to know most. How fast can you feel a difference? The truth is that circulation usually improves in layers. A person may first notice warmer feet, then less heaviness after dinner, then better stamina when walking, then fewer nighttime cramps, or a sense that the legs recover more easily after activity. For some people, these changes begin within days of cleaning up their diet and adding the right oil. For others, it may take several weeks because the body is dealing with long-standing inflammation, medication effects, diabetes, or established artery stiffness. Progress is not always dramatic, but small improvements matter. When you are over 60, the ability to walk a little farther, sleep with fewer leg discomforts, or feel less dragging in the calves can mean a lot. Another reason extra virgin olive oil stands out is that it supports more than one part of the body at the same time. Better circulation in the legs does not happen in isolation. The same blood vessel lining that affects your calves also matters to your heart, your brain, and your kidneys. That is why this oil has been studied so extensively in heart-healthy dietary patterns. It is not a one-trick ingredient. It may support blood pressure balance, help maintain arterial flexibility, and contribute to a healthier inflammatory profile overall. When one daily food choice helps several systems at once, that is a powerful form of nutrition. It is not flashy, it is not trendy. But it is practical, and practical habits are what tend to last. I also want to mention an important partnership effect, because this is where people can become more strategic. Extra virgin olive oil works especially well when it replaces harmful fats instead of simply being added on top of an already poor diet. If you pour olive oil over fried fast food every day, you are not getting the full benefit. But if you use it instead of heavily refined seed oils, instead of creamy processed dressings, or instead of repeatedly reheated cooking fats, the difference can be meaningful. In other words, the oil helps more when it is part of a smarter pattern. This is the same reason two people can take the same healthy ingredient and get different results. One person changes the whole context. The other person just adds a spoonful without removing the damage. And there is one more combination worth knowing about. Pairing extra virgin olive oil with nitrate-rich vegetables like arugula, spinach, or beets may create an even more circulation-friendly meal pattern. Why? Because those vegetables can support nitric oxide production, and olive oil helps protect the vessel lining that responds to that signal. That does not mean you need a complicated recipe. It could be as simple as olive oil over a spinach salad, roasted beets with olive oil and garlic, or sautéed greens finished with a spoonful added after cooking. The lesson here is powerful. Nutrition works best in teams. When foods complement each other, the body often responds better than it would to one isolated ingredient by itself. Now, I need to be honest about something else. Extra virgin olive oil is supportive, but it is not a rescue plan for every circulation problem. If you have severe leg pain when walking, wounds that are not healing, one leg that swells suddenly, blue or pale toes, chest pain, shortness of breath, or weakness on one side of the body, those are medical warning signs. You need prompt professional evaluation. A kitchen habit is not enough for an emergency, and I never want you to confuse supportive nutrition with a substitute for proper diagnosis. Sometimes poor circulation is tied to artery disease, heart failure, medication side effects, nerve problems, or blood clots. Food matters, but it works best alongside medical awareness, not instead of it. With that said, many people are not in crisis. They are in the frustrating middle zone. Their legs feel older than the rest of them. Their walking confidence is slipping. Their feet stay cold. Their calves tighten too early. They have not had a dramatic event, but they know something is off. That is exactly where a daily habit like extra virgin olive oil may offer value. It supports the terrain. It helps create a body environment that is less inflamed, less stiff, and more circulation friendly over time. Think of it as maintenance for the inside of the pipes. You may not see it working from 1 hour to the next, but over weeks and months, the difference can become noticeable. Let us also talk about the oils that may be silently making leg circulation harder, because avoiding damage is just as important as adding support. Highly refined industrial oils used in many packaged snacks, fried foods, and restaurant meals are often exposed to heavy processing, high heat, or repeated reuse. That combination can produce unstable compounds that place more oxidative stress on the blood vessels. Reheated frying oil is especially concerning because once an oil breaks down, it can become the opposite of protective. Instead of calming inflammation, it may increase it. This is one reason some people eat what looks like a normal diet on the surface, but still struggle with swelling, heaviness, and poor vascular resilience. The issue is not just how much fat they are eating. It is the quality, stability, and history of that fat. Storage matters too. Buy extra virgin olive oil in a dark bottle if possible. Keep it away from sunlight and direct heat. Close the lid tightly. Use it within a reasonable period after opening. If it smells stale, flat, or crayon-like, it may be past its prime. Freshness is not a luxury here. Those protective compounds do not last forever. This may sound like a tiny detail, but with nutrition, tiny details repeated every day become major outcomes over time. The bottle on your counter is not just an ingredient. It is either a living source of protective plant compounds or an aging fat that has lost much of its value. Another common mistake is overdoing it. Healthy oil is still calorie dense. More is not automatically better. For most people, 1 to 2 tablespoons a day is a realistic target. If you pour it freely on everything without changing anything else, you may gain weight, and excess weight itself places extra strain on circulation in the legs. So be balanced. Use enough to get the benefits, but not so much that you create a new problem. Good health habits are usually measured, not extreme. If you decide to try this for the next 7 days, pay attention to specific signs. Notice whether your feet feel warmer in the evening. Notice whether your legs feel lighter after walking. Notice whether you are less stiff when getting out of bed. Notice whether you are sleeping with fewer calf cramps or restless sensations. Notice whether your skin color in the lower legs looks healthier. Small shifts are worth respecting. The body often whispers before it shouts. Improvement can begin as a whisper too. I also encourage you to support this oil with simple circulation habits that cost nothing. Walk after meals when you can, even for 10 minutes. Flex your ankles while seated if you sit for long periods. Stay hydrated. Manage blood sugar carefully if you have diabetes. Do not smoke. Elevate your legs briefly if swelling is an issue and your doctor has said that is appropriate for you. These steps work with the oil, not against it. Remember, no single food carries the entire burden of your health. The best results come when several small actions point in the same direction. One reason this oil has earned so much attention is that people in traditional Mediterranean-style eating patterns have often used it daily for decades, not as a supplement but as a normal part of life. That matters because the body tends to respond best to habits that are realistic enough to maintain. You do not need a cleanse, a complicated schedule, or an expensive bottle with a miracle claim on the label. You need a trustworthy extra virgin olive oil, steady use, and enough patience to let your blood vessels respond. If you shop for it, look for harvest dates when available, a peppery or slightly grassy taste, and packaging that protects the oil from light. Those details often signal a fresher product with more of the protective compounds still intact. And if the flavor feels strong at first, start with a smaller amount and build up. Your taste buds usually adjust. I also want to mention medications, because many seniors watching this may already be taking blood pressure medicine, cholesterol medicine, or blood thinners. Extra virgin olive oil is a food, not a drug, but anytime you are making meaningful changes to your diet, it is wise to keep your care team informed, especially if you have complex health conditions. The goal is to support your treatment plan, not compete with it. Good nutrition and good medical care should work together. When they do, the results are often better than either one alone. So here is your simple challenge. For the next 7 days, replace one less healthy fat in your routine with extra virgin olive oil and pay attention to how your legs feel. Do not guess, observe. Let your body give you feedback. If you feel warmer, steadier, lighter, or more comfortable, that is useful information. Small changes practiced daily become the foundation of stronger circulation later on. And remember, circulation improves best when you pair support with movement. Even a short walk after breakfast can help your calf muscles push blood back toward the heart. That natural pumping action is one of your body's best tools for leg health. Feed the vessels with the right oil, use the muscles, stay consistent, and give your legs a real chance to feel younger again, starting with today itself. So if you remember only one message from today, let it be this. One everyday oil, used consistently and correctly, may help support the blood vessels that feed your legs and protect your mobility as you age. Extra virgin olive oil is not just a kitchen ingredient. In the right pattern, it can act like daily support for your arteries, your circulation, and your long-term independence. That is why I wanted to bring it to you today in a clear and simple way. Now I want to hear from you. Have you used extra virgin olive oil before? And if so, how do you like to take it? Comment below and share your experience. And if you know someone over 60 who complains about cold feet, heavy legs, or poor walking stamina, send this to them today. It could be the simple change they have been missing. Subscribe to Senior Diet Coach for more practical health education made especially for older adults. Thank you for spending this time with me, and I will see you in the next video. This video is for educational and informational purposes only, and is not intended as medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult your physician or another qualified healthcare professional before making changes to your diet, medications, or health routine.